In this podcast episode, Wim Hof shares his incredible life journey and the profound impact of his breathing and cold exposure techniques on human physiology and consciousness. The conversation spans from his early life struggles and personal tragedies to groundbreaking scientific studies validating his methods. Hof discusses the power of breath and cold in activating the autonomic nervous system, boosting the immune system, and elevating human potential. He also explores themes of trust, consciousness, sovereignty, and the urgent need for a global shift toward love and autonomy. Wim Hof was born as the second twin under difficult conditions, arriving purple and nearly suffocated, with his mother invoking a promise that he would be a missionary. This powerful maternal invocation deeply influenced his life purpose, embedding a resolve to serve humanity. Hof recounts his youth spent in Amsterdam squatting, pursuing self-education, and exploring diverse spiritual practices including yoga, dervish dancing, and martial arts. These early years cultivated his curiosity about the mind-body connection and his pursuit of self-realization, despite personal hardships, including his wife's mental health decline. At age 17, Hof experienced a pivotal moment when he instinctively jumped into ice-cold water covered by a thin layer of ice. This immersion silenced his overthinking mind, the hamster in the brain, opened his heart, and connected him back to feeling and presence. The cold became a fundamental teacher, showing him how to switch from stressful rumination to a state of calm awareness. Hof explains that exposure to cold triggers the release of endogenous opioids and cannabinoids in the brain, activating natural painkillers and mood enhancers that support resilience and well-being. Wim Hof discusses landmark scientific studies starting in 2007 with Dr. Kevin Tracy at Manhasset, New York, where Hof was able to consciously influence his vagus nerve activity and reduce inflammation, something previously considered impossible. The studies measured over 300 blood markers to demonstrate changes in inflammation levels triggered by Hof's breathing techniques, later replicated in follow-up studies involving bacterial challenges at a Dutch university hospital. Hof trained others using his methods, successfully enabling them to resist inflammation and sickness that control subjects could not. Central to Hof's mission is showing that humans can consciously control their autonomic nervous system, including modulation of immune responses. By practicing specific breathing and cold exposure, the body becomes capable of shifting into a healing and regenerative state, suppressing inflammation, the root cause of many diseases. Hof criticizes the pharmaceutical-driven medical system for ignoring these natural, side-effect-free techniques that empower individual autonomy and freedom in health management. Hof opens up about the devastation of losing his wife to suicide during her struggle with schizophrenia, a traumatic event that left him broken but determined to persevere for his children and fulfill his mission. This profoundly painful experience intensified his conviction to change the world by awakening people to their inner power and resilience capabilities. He emphasizes the ongoing societal challenges such as depression, war, and identity loss, underscoring the need for a heart and soul-centered paradigm shift. Breathwork lies at the core of Hof's practice. He details the physiological effects of his controlled hyperventilation, followed by breath retention, which alkalizes the blood, suppresses the CO2 breathing reflex, and activates the adrenal axis. These processes lead to heightened strength, mental clarity, and immune system activation. Hof demonstrates the technique simply and emphasizes that everyone can learn to become alchemists of their own biochemistry through breath, achieving freedom and sovereignty over mind and body. A recurring theme is trust in oneself, in nature, and in the innate intelligence of the body and mind. Hof teaches that trust is a measurable psychological parameter residing in the subcortical brain areas and that his methods help individuals access this deep wellspring of confidence. This trust enables people to overcome fear, regulate emotions, and behave cooperatively instead of competitively. He encourages breaking out of hierarchical systems that disempower individuals by affirming autonomy and personal sovereignty. Hof highlights the importance of combining scientific rigor with spiritual experience. He views ancient yogic and spiritual practices as foundations that modern science can now validate and expand upon. His approach distills complex traditions into accessible practice grounded in physiology and neuroscience. He champions the idea that consciousness is not merely cerebral activity, but encompasses connection with omnipresence, filling one's own cup with love, and then sharing that fullness with the world. Throughout the conversation, Hoff expresses his lifelong love of music as a channel to open the heart and imagination. He also shares his playful spirit, using humor and lightness to convey deep truths. This approach reflects his message that humans are beings of light meant to be playful, creative, and free, qualities suppressed by modern societal pressures but revivable through cultivating inner freedom. Wim Hof is adamant about the urgent need for society to move beyond materialism, greed, and systems serving industrial interests at the expense of human health and well-being. He points out that despite technological advances, humanity remains barbaric in how we treat each other and the planet. His mission is to awaken a new generation of healers and light bearers who reconnect with nature and their internal powers to heal the world and create a paradise for future generations. Within the episode, Hoff guides breathing exercises, illustrating the physiological principles discussed. These involve deep, rhythmic inhalations and exhalations, followed by breath retention that enables practitioners to alter blood biochemistry and enter a stress-tolerant state. The technique boosts adrenaline, dopamine, and cannabinoid release to optimize brain and immune function. The cold exposure element complements breathing by providing cardiovascular training and hormonal balance, enhancing longevity and strength. The episode touches on how Hoff's method addresses modern mental health issues, such as depression, anxiety, and identity loss. Through activating the autonomic nervous system and increasing neurotransmitters like dopamine, practitioners experience enhanced mood and emotional regulation. Hoff emphasizes the importance of embracing fear as a messenger and developmental challenge rather than an obstacle, inviting transformation and soul growth. Wim Hof reflects on humanity's readiness for transformational events, including the metaphorical framing of alien disclosure. He suggests that humans themselves are aliens in this body, and that expanding consciousness and self-mastery is essential for meeting future unknowns. His method equips people with autonomy, resilience, and spiritual clarity, enabling individuals and societies to face uncertainty with courage and creativity. Looking ahead, Wim Hof remains committed to further scientific studies to validate and expand knowledge of how breath and cold exposure influence neurology and immunology. He continues to teach globally, motivating people to reclaim sovereignty over their health and emotions through natural methods. His work aims to dismantle ignorance and corporate interests dominating medicine and to spread a message of love, light, and self-empowerment for a healthier future.